very good day and welcome to Asake Online, and this is Surviving COVID. On the series, we have been chatting to people who've actually suffered the pandemic by actually getting sick, and people who have been caretakers, and we've been talking to various people as well who have been affected, not in the health way, but maybe if they've been running a business has shut down, and things like that, because the pandemic has affected everybody in some way or the other. One of the sectors that has been really hit by COVID is the art sector. And if you've been following the series, we have been chatting to artists to have a feel about what they've been going through, their experiences. Because as you know, artists survive on live performances, gigs, bars being open, and all of those spaces have been closed. And well, they've been partially open for a very limited time. So that has taken away basically all of artists' livelihood. So today on the show, we are talking to Mimie, and Mimie is a singer. She's a powerhouse. She's just got this voice. She's a little person with this very powerful voice, and I would like to welcome Mimie to the show. Welcome, Mimie.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
It's such a pleasure. And first of all, Mimie, we see you as this voice. For me, you're this voice that just
Really?
You've got such a powerful voice, and unfortunately that's all I pretty much know about you. Where did you grow up? Wakhulela ngaphi, wenzani? And tell us about your journey from then up until you started the arts.
Okay, so I grew up here in Kobulabayo, 1994, 21st of May. So yes, I'm a 94. I'm not a 2000. I grew up here, Mater Dei Hospital. I went to 5 different primary schools and 1 high school. I went to Petra High. I started singing in primary school. Well, I took it seriously in primary school, but my parents say I came out singing as a kid. Like, I would cry and it would be in key, apparently. So yeah, but I started singing in primary school, probably like your grade 1, 2, throughout high school. From high school, I joined these gospel groups as a backing vocalist. I joined a whole lot of groups. I was in Cream Voices, I was in Vocal X, I was in Worship Addict, and I started also doing it like professionally, backing professionally later on, maybe 2015. And that's when Outfit spotted me, and I joined the band Outfit, a jazz band from here. And I've been in the band since. And now I'm a solo artist.
Okay, and before you started singing, okay, well, you didn't, it's not like you have ever stopped singing.
Yeah.
You were born singing, as you
Yeah.
said. Did you ever contemplate any other path besides Uhlabel?
Well, yes. You know, as a kid, you always have, like, it changes every Sunday. Like, every Monday, they ask, what do you want to be? I want to be a preacher. What do you want to be? I want to be a doctor. So it changed, but music was always there. Music had to always be involved. I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to actually own my own restaurant, lounge, like The Princess and the Frog, Disney, yes. And she would sing, and there was jazz, and I fell in love with that cartoon, and I thought that would be my life. You know, that was like high school and everything. So that's what I wanted to do besides music. I wanted to cook. Yeah.
And so how did you get derailed from the cooking into singing?
Well, hey.
I wouldn't say derailed. Okay, how did you change
How
your
did I
path?
change
Because
the
that
path?
sounds so wrong to say
Yeah, like-
derailed. Like shade.
Auntie, please.
Yes.
Now, well, what happened was, I studied hospitality and culinary arts. That's what I did for my tertiary. And I got the opportunity to study abroad. I applied everything, you know, normal. You apply to colleges overseas, you get accepted. I got a scholarship funding. I got funding, and I just didn't get a visa. And I kept going and I kept going till they were like, nah. And they didn't really give me a valid reason, Kuti, why didn't you, you didn't get your visa because of this. They'll just give you that paper and be like, come back next time if you want, or, you know. And until they were like, you know what, just stop coming, you're wasting your parents' money. I was like, okay. So that really crushed me, and I really found solace in music, and music comforted me, and I was like, okay, by the way, I have this talent that I had been pursuing from way back then, so let me just continue and be serious about it, and here I am.
So the universe realigned to send you into music.
Yes, ma'am.
How did your family take it? Were they supportive? Well, I mean, you were crying in key, so they must have some musical appreciation. How has
Well,
the journey been with them?
I won't lie and be like, oh, it's so rosy, they're so supportive. No, it's been a topsy-turvy. We've had good days, we've had bad days. I mean, there's days when they're like, no, we wanted you to be a doctor so that you can look after me, not this. But they've always been there with every decision I've made musically, and they've always held my hand to make the right decision, and they've always been supportive. They're my biggest cheerleaders with the pom-poms and everything in the air. So yeah, they've been there. They've been a great help through this musical journey from day one. Yeah.
So, if you had to have children, would you encourage them to take up arts like you did?
If they want to, yes. I will not force them. But I think the type of person I am, I probably would force them and put a big piano in the house from age 3, you will learn. But it has to be something they would want to do. I want them to follow their dreams like my parents gave me the opportunity to follow mine. So yeah, I definitely think I would be supportive if they were to go that route. But even if they wanted to be a news reporter or a dancer or anything apart from arts, I'll be there for them, I think.
We'll watch the space. We'll look out for
We'll
you.
see.
In a few years, I'm like, Mimie, you said. So, your experience, arts life in Bulawayo. Did you perform just in Bulawayo? Well, this is pre-COVID. What was your artist life like in the band?
Okay, well, before COVID, we were pretty much a very vibrant group. We still are, just we were all over the place. We were gigging Harare, Bulawayo, the whole nation, basically. Anywhere someone wanted live music, or whether it's a funeral, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a opening of something, Outfit Band is the band to call. So we would travel a lot. We would even go as far as SA. Also with like the backing vocal side, I traveled a lot more on that side, to South Africa, Botswana, Zambia, and just doing backing gigs. So with the whole COVID, it's been a bummer because we've been at home and we can't travel as yet, but hopefully soon.
So, what have you been doing with yourself in that space of time?
Well, I had stages, okay? So at first I was like at home, chilling with everybody else. It was also a time to get to know my family again because everyone is up and about. My brother's also an artist, so he's out of town, I'm out of town. So we never got time to be home, the four of us, and get to know each other. So it was a time to bond again, to get to know each other. After we got tired of getting to know each other, we started finding things to do. I started going back to my music notes from school and realized, okay, I can actually teach basic vocals. So I started an online program. I teach basic vocals for beginners, like the bottom of the bottom.
Okay, mostly basic vocals. What do you mean?
Like I will teach you how to sing.
Even me.
Yeah, I said the basic. I didn't say Beyonce. I didn't say Mimie. I said the basic. So yeah, I started to do that. I started to learn how to bead as well, like arts and crafts, and I started selling my bead work. And yeah, I've done a whole lot. I can't remember most of them, but yeah.
What was your biggest lesson that you'd say you learned? Well, you are learning because the shutdown hasn't ended. It's been like going in
Roller coaster, yeah.
phases, yes. So what's your takeaway?
From this whole COVID situation and lockdown situation, life is short. You have to take every opportunity to be the best you can be. for me, that's what I got. To be honest, I was not planning on on releasing anything last year or this year. And so because I was now bored and I'm like, I have so much time, it helped me and it gave me that push to say, okay, let me try something. I was just going to continue being a backing vocalist in the back and not come out with a project. So yeah, so take every opportunity. That's the biggest lesson I've learned. And be the best you can be.
So did the lockdown actually help you transition from that? You would say it made you become a solo artist.
It helped me transition.
Okay.
I was already a solo artist. I just wasn't out there.
Yeah.
I released a single like 2017, 2018, and then I went quiet. So the lockdown really, because now everyone's releasing and everything is now digital because we're all at home. People are watching. There's lots of viewers. So I thought, okay, if I release something and I put it out on all digital stores, I know I'll get traction. I know I'll get something happening. And people will be like, oh, by the way, there's Mimie. She had gone quiet after that. So I was like, okay, let me try something. And here we are.
And so you released something, is it a couple of months ago?
Yes, I released my first EP project. It's called They Loved Mimie. It's a 4-track EP.
Okay, what does EP mean? Because LP. So these new terms that are like coming out now, it's like...
I forgot what the name, but I know what it means. It means it's like a mini album.
Okay.
So you have your album, which is like
LP.
8-track, 10-track, and then you have the mini one, which is like 4, 3, 5.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's what you released. That's what you're working on during lockdown.
That's what I worked on during lockdown, and I released it in February. And yeah.
How's been the response to that?
It was amazing. It was really overwhelming. The hype towards it, I feel like I really tried to push as much as I could, and the people were like responding well to it. The night before I released, I actually trended on Twitter, I think. Yeah, I did. I trended on Twitter.
For all the right reasons, thank goodness.
Yes, no scandal, honey. No scandal. No, I trended on Twitter. So it had, people were hyped up to say, okay, they're expecting something from Mimie. And even after the music was released, they were happy with it. And I'm glad that they got to relate to my music. I get texts from people saying, you know, that song that you sang, it really inspired me to do this. Or that song that you sang, it's my wedding song type of vibe. So yeah, it's been a great journey.
So I'm going to just ask a random question now. Well, not live having a sibling who's in this, not the same genre, but you're in the same performing and life. How is that?
It has its pros and cons. Okay, how do I say this? First of all, I'm tired of this question because
I had some idea. I had some idea about that. That's why I was like,
no, I like the way you asked the question, because the other people that ask this question, they don't ask it like this. But no, it's an amazing experience. I enjoy sharing the stage with my brother. It doesn't have to be the same stage. I just enjoy watching him perform, and he's doing great in the genre that he does in hip hop, and he's leading the hip hop what, and he's doing well. So it's I don't know how to answer your question. Really.
Oh, you've answered it.
I've answered it, right?
You've answered it.
It's a great thing to work with. I enjoy working with my family. So it's great to know that there's someone who has your back. If something is to go wrong and I need my brother, he's going to pull up for me. If I do not have a hype man, or if he doesn't have a hype man and needs me, I'll be there.
You're both able to relate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it can be nerve-wracking, because I'm a last born, I'm a baby. So you know, when you're at home, you're used to, Daddy, Tafata won't do this for me. And then now we come out and it's work time, and I'm like, Tafata, please help me. And he's like, no, do this by yourself. So he's really strict, but he helps me be a grounded artist, and be my own artist. So
stand on your own
Not
feats.
ready yet, but it's okay.
So, in terms of this music passion of yours, do you see yourself singing? Or I see you singing till like you cross over, but do you see yourself working in this space in the next 10 years, 20 years, or would you be looking at going to something different?
Definitely. I won't just say music alone, but maybe the entertainment industry as a whole. Yes, in the next 10 to 15 years, I do see myself having my own creative center to empower female artists mainly, so that we have safe spaces. When I started out, I did not have those safe spaces. So I want to be able to create a safe space where someone who wants to learn how to be a sound engineer does not have to go to a bedroom to learn how to be a sound engineer. They will have their own facilities, proper and run by female artists, so they are not feeling some type of way about being touched in any way or being catcalled or being shamed in any way. So yeah, definitely that's what I plan on doing.
You bring up a very interesting point, safe spaces for females. In the work you've been at, what is the one thing that you didn't expect? I mean, you've got the limelight, you know, the positive side, you're performing, you're getting the vibe and everything. What's the downside for you of being in the job that you're in?
Many.
Okay, top 5.
Top 5? Okay, no, top 3.
Top 3.
Top 3. First of all, it's how artists are handled, and it's not just men, it's not just women, men as well. Like the way artists are handled when called for gigs, we are not treated equal, we're not treated the same. You'll find that a promoter has called me to come and sing at a corporate gig or whatever. I get to the corporate gig, the promoter is not there to say, okay, this is the artist that has come and she's come to whatever. You're treated like you are nothing. They just, oh, okay, chimba, chimba. And then they're like, okay, get off. You know, so just, we're humans too. We have feelings too. I have feelings. I don't know about y'all, but I have feelings. So I also would like to be treated with respect. So yeah, there's that. Females being abused, and people don't talk about it much. Well, they do. Yeah. They like everyone's talking about it, but it's people are not coming out to speak more about it. As in, the artists are not coming out. Yes, you hear people say, "Oh yes, don't go to that producer because he's dingy. He'll try and grab your boobs or he'll try and sleep with you," everything. But that those things happen every day. And then it was worse back then than now. Now they're like, you know not to go to the studio alone. But back then you're like, but this is my brother, you know, he's my guy, China, next door neighbor, we can work together. And then you get abused. So yeah, that's definitely. And the third one, I have to pick from my no, I'll leave that too.
Okay, so it's the safe spaces, it's the abuse, it's the lack of professionalism. Oh, you're just an artist.
Yes.
And
you're just an artist, you don't know. Like,
shut up and sing.
Yes.
Okay.
You are just the entertainment. I can have a conversation too. You don't know. What if I have a degree? You don't know. So, you know, I don't know. It's just, I just feel that kind of.
So I hope that actually spurs you to actually go forth and bring that 10 to 15 year vision closer.
It has. I won't lie. I was slow at the beginning, but I decided, what was it? This year to like try my best to learn as much as I need to. If it's business, finance, in the arts industry. I actually recently just finished a sound engineering course with Sisters Next Generation. I'm actually hoping to further it and go to school for sound engineering so that I know as well what it takes to be in those different workspaces, so that I'm not just saying I want to open something and then get people to do it, and I don't know how to do it. Things like sound, for example. You need to know you need to know your mixing. You need to know when you're performing, instead of saying, Gideon, Chimbo, you know.
Bass,
Yeah.
If you know what bass is.
Exactly.
As well.
And you're just going, instead of 1, 2, you know, you need to know all that. So I really took that step to say, okay, well, each 3 months, I want to see what I can do, what I can learn to better myself and my goal and my dream.
Okay. So let's come back to arts and COVID. We saw during like the first lockdown that there was going to be assistance for artists during the lockdown. Did you get any assistance? Did you apply? What was it like for you?
Okay, well, I saw that it was going everywhere. At first I was like a bit hesitant to apply because I didn't know what to expect. You know how it is already, they've labeled us as, okay, you guys can't, okay, it's true, we were broke, we had not been working. But the way they were like, nah, you guys you're not eating, Linama artists, you're not eating. So that's how they made it feel. Like they kept sending, Linama artists, this is for you, you're not eating. So I was really hesitant, but I was like, nah, let me just apply and see if it is so. Mm-hmm. So I applied. I followed all the instructions that they told us to do. Yeah. And then, do you want to know the instructions?
Yes. At this rate, might as well.
Well, not. I mean, you just had to fill out why you need the grant.
Because I haven't been working for 9 months.
Why you need the grant, your ID, and your work profile.
Okay.
So I applied, I think, like, just a month after that letter was, the poster was out. And yeah, it took a while to come. And you know, you even forget that you applied for something, and then you see a tweet and you're like, Auntie, when are the grants? And I'm like, oh, by the way, I applied. So when is it coming? So it did come through eventually, but the money it wasn't, with the way things were going as well in the economy, and with lockdown, things have gone up. Things are expensive now. So it didn't really, it helped, but it didn't help much.
Okay, I get you. Vaccination. What's your take on that?
I'm vaccinated.
Okay.
Not fully. I'm yet to go for my second jab. I feel like everyone should try, like, do what you think is best for you. I got vaccinated because I need to work. So
that's honest.
So yeah, no, I will tell you the truth. I got vaccinated because I need to go to work. I need to work. There's some things that I need to do, or recordings that I need to do, or to travel, to go and sing somewhere. And so it was a no-brainer. I had to get vaccinated.
Okay. So, Mimie, what are your last words? I was so tempted to ask her to sing, but then she just gave me a look. So, if you'd like to see her sing, you'll have to just look her up. She's not going to sing on the show. What are your last words for our viewers?
Okay, I don't have much to say. I just want to thank everyone for supporting local talent, especially in these trying times. It's not easy being an artist. It's also not easy being a supporter of Zimbabwean local music. But thank you for your support, and just keep on going.
I know it was last words, like, what do you mean it's not easy being a supporter of Zimbabwean local music?
It is. You just know. You just know.
All right, then we leave it at that. Mimie, thank you so much for joining me on the show, and we wish you all the best. And yeah,
thank
all
you
the
for
best.
having me.
Yeah, so we'll be looking out for future developments from you, and of course, that center safe spaces for female creatives. That's all we have on Surviving COVID today. I was speaking to Mimie, and she's a singer, she's a performer. She's an absolute blast, and she released an album, an EP, not an album, an EP about sometime in February. Just look up, enjoy her, and as she said, please support local music, as hard as it may be. Her words, not mine. So thank you for watching Asake Online. Igama lami Sizwakele Ndlovu, and see you in other programs.